We are talking about Quantum Leap Reboot, rounding out the rest of its main cast. And while we probably aren't feeling a lot of this, we know you're going to have some strong opinions. So on the way to the comment section, please hit the subscribe button if you're not already a subscriber of this channel. We love you. And let's get into it.
Yeah,
I didn't
in
know how to
fact,
segue that. My bad.
in fact, subscribe now because you may unsubscribe later. So
Yeah, it's not our fault. Like I told Shane when we did the video about the casting sheet that
yeah.
we got before the news even came out. I said, "Don't shoot the messenger."
Well, the first thing we need to do is kill anybody who keeps calling this thing a reboot. It's frustrating me. It's they call it reboot everywhere, and it proves that they're not actually reading what they're writing or something.
How can it be a reboot?
It's not. We thought it was a reboot initially because everybody kept saying it was a reboot, and then we read it, we looked at it, we realized it's a continuation, not a reboot.
I think reboot is now just like the general term for like when they bring a series back or something.
They bring it back. Yeah. No, I'm sorry, guys. Reboot does not have two meanings.
Right. Yeah. When they brought X-Files back for that miniseries, they didn't call it the X-Files reboot, did they?
Right. No. And when you turn your computer off and turn it back on to reboot it, you're not getting another computer.
Yeah. You know what they should have
Starting over.
called the X-Files? X-Files. Now Mulder to death. A DILF.
Yeah.
Looking good, bro.
That old term, you can't always go home, is so true.
That is very true.
But in the case of Quantum Leap and its new series, you can go home. And let me tell you something. Right now, there's no Scott Bakula, guys. We're just going to go ahead and throw it out there straight. There's no Scott Bakula.
No!
But there will be Scott Bakula if the show actually goes to be produced.
And so if they...
Yeah, well, I don't even know if they need to do that, to be honest with you. I don't think anybody's breaking down Scott Bakula's door to like get him in a new series. I think he could do this and just pay him normally. I think he wants to do Quantum Leap. He's been talking about it for years, how he wouldn't mind doing it. So he's not doing anything else. I know we keep saying this. He's done with CSI, NCIS New Orleans. He's not doing anything else. And so he's primed to do this. But here's the thing. Scott Bakula is not going to attach himself to Quantum Leap if the pilot doesn't get picked up.
That's true.
And what we're hearing is there's a chance the pilot may not get picked up.
Oh, what?
Yeah, so here's the deal, is there's just not as much confidence in this one as there was in the Magnum PI one that Belisario did before. And for good reason, because the state of the world has changed. And fans just aren't tuning into certain things as much as they are. And it's been a long time.
Well, it's also because a lot of the content came back after their like season after, before COVID. They came back after COVID, and they couldn't stop talking about COVID.
Right. Yeah.
Like that drove me nuts. So many shows came back and like could not. We got social distance and put your mask on. And okay, we get it. You want to like be current or whatever, but we don't watch this to be this. We don't think Superstore is reality, guys.
Right. We want to escape.
Yeah. You don't have to reflect what's going on in my life right now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, sometimes it's interesting, but it's not, sometimes we want to get away.
Every show was like beating you over the head with it, dude. Even like MacGyver came back and it was all about COVID this and COVID that, and everyone was on, so stupid.
So it looks like the one interesting thing, I just saw this here too, is, okay, so the actors we're getting. So they are bringing Quantum Leap back. It is going to be if you haven't seen our Quantum Leap videos on the Popcast Prime, we do go into everything we know about it. This is new information. But we go in to describe what all the cast members are and what their roles are and what they'll do. Just so you know, the people that have been signed up for this show that will be the actors on it are Caitlin Bassett, Nanrisa Lee, Mason Alexander, Raymond Lee, and Ernie Hudson.
Ernie Hudson.
Ah, yes. I knew you were going to say and Ernie Hudson.
Ernie Hudson.
So remember, we have a character that was from the Vietnam era, and he was actually a character that was in the original Quantum Leap series. It was Herbert Magic Williams.
How did we not call Ernie Hudson?
You know why we didn't? Because Ernie hadn't been doing a lot.
Yeah.
You know, and honestly, Mario Van Peebles was kind of a more obvious thing. But you know, I wonder if because Ernie did the Ghostbusters thing, you know, he got like, yeah, I want to do some more again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he was just in Ghostbusters, right?
Ernie Hudson's perfect.
I love him for this. That's like the one element of this that I'm like, yes, this is good. Yeah, they don't actually. They have him. Yes, now it's in his IMDb, Untitled Quantum Leap Sequel Project. So he's going to be playing the guy who basically is trying to keep the Quantum Leap project going. He's going to be working, you know, as retired military, or he's basically the guy who's going to be trying to keep the money flowing so that they can continue the project while they're trying to get this new leaper home, this new jumper.
Right.
Who gets accidentally again stuck back in time in the late 1980s for the first episode of the show.
The new jumper.
The new leaper, I guess you'd call it leaper. The difference in this one is that we've got a lot more characters in this one, which means we're going to be spending more time in the present or the future. I guess it's 2000. I guess it's the current time. We're going to be spending more time now, and as opposed to when we watched Scott Bakula do Quantum Leap, we were always in the past. Very rarely were we at the Quantum Leap facility. You know?
Yeah.
This story picks up 30 years after Beckett stepped in to the Quantum Leap accelerator. Some of the other characters, there's going to be let's see. There's going to be a person who uses the technology to communicate with the person traveling in time.
Right.
Right. You've got the head of security for the Quantum Leap headquarters. You've got Ian, the chief architect of Quantum Leap's AI program, and that's probably, I believe, and I don't know if this character played it. They were actually asking for a transgendered person. Is that right?
Non-binary.
Non-binary. So they were asking for non-binary people to go for this role. And we ended up getting, let's see who's doing this. Alexander.
Ernie Hudson did a show called The Family Business that looks baller.
Oh, the family. Actually, I think I saw that.
It looks amazing. It looks like Game of Thrones.
So
Yeah,
Mason
like
Alexander is playing this character. Yeah, it's a non-binary film and stage actor.
Yeah, he was in iCarly. He was a boy in iCarly.
Okay, and
He
also
wasn't
in
non-binary then.
Cowboy Bebop, which is getting a lot of discussion lately. So this is a person who's got some. The one thing we were talking about that we were worried about is how are they going to find a non-binary person who's got experience, who might actually be good in a role. And it looks like the one good thing about this actor is that they do have some experience. And they've been in some things that aren't horrible.
Yeah. These are all bit roles, though. So, like, the last real series he did, if you look, was iCarly, and he wasn't non-binary then.
Well, you know, Cowboy Bebop's a real series.
I know it's a real series, but he's not in it as much as you think he is. I've seen the entire series.
Have you watched it?
Yeah, he's not one of the main three characters.
Okay, so he's playing he's in a lot of episodes.
He's in a lot of episodes, yeah, but he's not a main character.
And there's another TV series coming out called The Sandman.
And I haven't seen that, so maybe I'm wrong.
It's in post-production.
Okay.
And he's in a bunch of those episodes. So, you know, who knows whether it's going to be good or not. But that is something we were concerned about, was finding somebody good for that role. We got Ernie Hudson, who's great. Let me look at Caitlin Bassett here. There is a newcomer to this one. I'm trying to figure out. Yes. No, it's not this person. Yeah, so she hasn't been in much. So Caitlin Bassett, she is V is for vodka. She was in a short. Yeah, she don't have any credits, bro. So she's a new actor. And she's playing you know why she got this role? She was in the US Army. She spent 7 years in the Army. And that's the character she's going to be playing, a prior military person.
Interesting.
So that's how she got that role. And then, of course, Raymond Lee is going to be playing the lead character. And we talked about him in...
to exhausting levels.
In another video. And so he's going to be playing the main leaper. He was in that... The show with the F word in it. What was that show?
Oh yeah, it was like F this person or whatever.
Yeah, no, it was I can't remember who it was, but yeah, he's in some
F
show.
Kevin. It was like F.
That's
Kevin.
right, Kevin Hart, right?
Yeah, this actress looks interesting.
Oh, this is
she was in CSI Vegas.
Okay.
Yeah, not much though. If you look, they're not doing honestly. Not much. These are all sort of like new actors. They've been around for a while, but they haven't really done anything.
Which is why they're kind of worried that it may not get picked up.
And this person was in a show called Burn, Mother Effer Burn.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, so what? But if you don't, you're not going to get a more chance of something getting picked up if you hire nobodies. I mean,
well, I think it's got to be good. I think there's got to be a fan base who's excited about it. And I think they're going to have to do this and be like, hey, don't worry. Bakula we're going to bring him in midway through the first season.
Yeah. All right.
And if that's the case, then they're going to get greenlit.
Yeah. I hope that's the case. I hope it gets greenlit just so that we can see Bakula. Because I feel like this is going to be one of those shows. I'm sorry. This is going to be one of those shows where if it's going to be good, it's not going to be good in the first season.
Yeah, you're probably right.
It's going to require a second season, a little more rope, and some Scott Bakula, and then it'll get good. Just like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., just like hopefully Picard.
Just like Picard. Yeah, I mean, that's a really good point because Picard's first season was not good. Not really. And when you look at it in its big picture.
Yeah, individually there was okay parts of it, but yeah, big picture wasn't good.
And season 2 is looking good. So we'll see what happens with... I want to see people leap through time. I want to see this, but I gotta have Scott Bakula.
You know what? This is similar to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in the same way, where it's science fiction, but it's not like typical space science fiction, right?
Yeah.
And the first season of that was really, really rough. And by the end, they sort of wrapped it up. And then the second season started strong, and they went strong for 8 seasons or whatever. So
that's a good point. So what do we know right now? They're going to be filming. So now that they've cast, they're going to start filming, and then we should know probably. My guess is we should know in about 6 months.
Okay,
6 to 9 months.
That's fair.
Yeah.
All right. So, stay tuned to the Popcast Prime, too, our main channel, because, of course, we'll be covering it. We love Quantum Leap.
Yeah.
To be honest, let's be clear. I don't like this casting. I don't know these people. I feel like they really wanted to, except for Ernie Hudson, yes. Okay. By the way, listen, I'll watch anything with Ernie Hudson. I'm about to go start up a BET original, and I've never even seen, right? I didn't even know BET was still on air.
Oh, the Family Business, yeah.
Because Ernie Hudson's in it. I'm about to find out where to watch BET originals, and then I'm gonna boot up this show because of Ernie Hudson. So yes, Ernie Hudson got my sign off here. But all the other roles, to me, and even if I didn't know of the casting sheet that Shay and I acquired, let's say I had never seen that, we never made that video.
Mm-hmm.
If I just saw this off the top of my head, I would have said, like, you know what? I feel like they're really trying to fit people into molds that aren't required.
Yes.
And when you do that, either you guys spend a lot of money to get the perfect people for those molds, or you guys spend the least amount of money possible, and which is what they did, and get people that fit the molds, but no one knows. And it feels like that's the latter. Obviously, the latter is what they went with. And so, if the writing is not like pitch perfect, bro, like chef's kiss, this is going to be a problem. Ernie Hudson can't carry 5 nobodies on his back.
Well, and he's not going to be a main character. I mean, he's a main character, but he's not going to be on screen a lot because he's not jumping. He's back, at home, so he's going to be on screen maybe, I don't know, a quarter of the time probably.
I got to tell you, if they actually went with that original casting that you said was a good idea. What's his name?
Mario Van Peebles? Yeah.
No, for the main guy.
Oh, Nanji, yeah, the guy from...
I can't pronounce his name.
Eternals, and Star Wars, and...
Yeah, if they went with your original idea,
he would have been great.
It would have been great, because he's a good actor. He's funny. Yeah. He actually fits the mold for, like, someone that would be... It would be a Scott Bakula type character.
Yeah.
But there's no way they're spending money on him. So you have these molds. You have to fit people in these molds. That you have determined these are the molds that work with our show, even though those molds are not determined by the story, but they're instead determined by society that you live in, which consists mainly of your time on Twitter. So you need to fill these Twitter molds up to make your show so you feel good about yourself. And now you're going to go find people to fill these molds. But in order to actually find those very specific people, you got to spend a ton of money, which you don't have. So instead, you hire people that no one knows, and we have no idea if they actually have talent.
Yeah, and you have to spend, and this is the funny thing about pilots. And, when you're making a pilot with somebody, most pilots don't get picked up. And so you got somebody like this Nanjiani guy who is just beyond pilots. He's just like, I'm a guy who's ready to go. I'm not going to go audition and waste my time on a pilot that, doesn't have a lot of potential possibly. So right. You're not going to be able to get those people. Ernie Hudson's not doing nothing, honestly.
No.
So he can do this. This is great. And all these other characters, but hopefully this is where you find, diamonds in the rough. I mean, you think about, Leonard Nimoy and William Shatner. They came into Star Trek as, virtual nobodies. I mean, Shatner had done some work and some things, but he wasn't a household name.
Sure.
And so you kind of have to get there by doing it this way sometimes.
Right, but they weren't under the same restrictions that these people are placing on themselves by saying, well, we have to fill these very specific molds that Twitter has determined we have to fill in order to get Twitter's sign off on our new show.
I 100% agree with that. That's a bunch of BS. Yeah. That should not be that way.
Right. It should be about the story.
It should be about the guy or the guy or girl who makes the show and says, these are the people I want in there. I want a space alien that's red in my show. And I want him to be on my bridge. Yeah, and then Spock ends up,
not they hated that because they thought he looked like the devil.
They couldn't see him. Well, no, he couldn't see him because remember the color was.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
it was black and white, and he didn't. The red couldn't even be seen. So yeah,
All right, guys, that's it for the show. Listen, on your way to the comment section to either agree or disagree with us in a very passionate way, I'm assuming. Please hit that subscribe button because we need more subscribers. We are so close to 1,000. Get us to 1,000, folks, if you're not already subscribed. And if you like this, hit the like. And if you disliked it, then send Shane an email.
What? Okay.
No, hit the dislike button.
Why not? Go ahead, send me.
And share it too. Share it on Twitter. I'm sure they'll love it.
Right. Retweet it. Whatever.
All right, guys. Love you so much. See you tomorrow.